Platy and Swordtail, two of the most popular small fish in the aquarium hobby. But which one is the best? This is Taj Mahal Aquatics, and let's see who is the best between the two. Platy and Swordtail. Both are popular life bearers, known to be bulletproof, colorful, and easy to keep as well, which makes these two perfect for almost everyone, especially new fish keepers. But if you could only pick one, which would it be? Is it Platy or Swordtail? Well, lucky for you, you just click on the right video, as I'm putting these fish on an epic showdown that nobody asked for, but maybe could be helpful for you to decide between the two. We'll go through looks, size, care, availability, and price. And at the end, you may have a clear view to decide which one to choose. Ready for the showdown? Let's go! Let's start with the looks of the two. Cause let's be honest here, that's the first thing you notice with aquarium fish, right? Both fish actually have a good looks, but in a different way. Platy are short and chunkier, like a jelly bean. Swordtail on the other hand is more sleek, slim, and longer, kinda like McDonald's French fries. And of course, they have their signature long pointy tail, which is the reason how they got their name. Although in my opinion it looks more like a toothpick. For color, both fish are just as bright and colorful, but I think Platy might be more dominant here. They come in more color varieties and morphs, as well as some wild pattern. And while Swordtails also have various color choices, I guess they are not as much as Platy's. But there is one Swordtail that was my absolute favorite, which is the Sanshoku Swordtail, as they really remind me of koi. So for looks, I guess Platy snatches the crown, as they have more color choices than Swordtail. But I think I would personally pick the Swordtail for that one variant that looks like koi. But how about you? Who do you think deserves the crown? Is it Platy or Swordtail? Let me hear your choice. Next round, size. Cause not every fish is a fit in someone's aquarium, right? For Platy, they're just a tiny jelly bean. They stay small, at 2 to 3 inches, which is perfect for you who have a smaller aquarium, like 10 or 20 gallons for instance. They wouldn't be Godzilla in your aquarium. While with Swordtail, they are still considered small, but not as small as Platy's. They are bigger than Platy's, at 5 inches, so they need more space. Although they are not as big as a blue whale, you may need 20 to 30 gallons of aquarium space, which makes them slightly not a fit for everyone. But unless you have those size of aquarium standby, then it's not big of a deal. So size-wise, Platy wins again. But if you have a bigger aquarium standby, Swordtail might be a better choice. But for size, who would you pick? Would you pick the jelly bean fish or McDonald's French fries fish? Let me know your choice in the comments. Now let's talk about care, the biggest concern of many fish keepers. Well, good news for you, both Platy and Swordtail are beginners approved, which basically said both of them are actually easy to keep. Plus they are also bulletproof, so it makes them a perfect fish for everyone. However, Platy slide ahead again. Why? They're just a bit easier overall than Swordtail. More chill, smaller in size, which makes them fit for many aquarium sizes, and also lower maintenance, which is perfect for newbies and couch potatoes. Swordtail are still easy, but the male fish are not as chill. Plus they also need a bigger space. So I guess Platy edged out to win this round. But maybe if you like a bit of spice in your aquarium, then maybe Swordtail is a better choice. But what do you think? Is Platy better to keep, or is it Swordtail? Let me hear your thoughts. And before we go any further, how about a little facts break? Did you know that you can breed Platy and Swordtail together? Yep, this is true. They are both from Scyphophorus family. And you can interbreed these two fishes and get a cool fish called Sword Platies. Pretty awesome, right? Kinda like Pokemon, but fish. And if you think that's cool, give this video a thumbs up. And now let's move on with the video. Let's talk about availability. Generally speaking of keeping a fish, another consideration to keep a fish is how easy or hard it is to find a fish, right? And how would you buy a fish if the fish is nowhere to be found? But good news, both are widely available. Whether it's in the big chain pet stores or mom and pop fish shop, you'll find them everywhere. However, Platy dominates again. Why? They are just too common. You can find Platy on more fish stores, from the rather sketchy one to the most complete high-end one. Swordtail are still easy to find, but you might have to check around a little more. So yeah, another win for Platy. They are easier to find no matter where you go. But how about in your area? Do you find more Platy or Swordtail? Let me know in the comments. And finally, price. As one of the considerations to buy a fish is the price, right? And lucky for you, both Platy and Swordtail are very budget friendly. You don't need iPhone money for these two fish. So if you need a fish on a budget or a starter fish, both fish are your greatest choice. However, once again, it's the Platy to take the dominance once again. I know, it may be a bit ridiculous, but here's why. Platies are cheaper. They are not only easy to find, but they are way more budget friendly than Swordtail. Swordtail are still affordable, but they usually cost more. Sure, they may not be as much as the latest iPhone 17, but you do need an extra penny to buy this fish. So once again, Platy wins to wrap this round. Sure, Swordtail is also cheap, but I guess the Platy is unbeatable. But if you are at the fish store right now, would you rather buy Platy or Swordtail? Let me know your choice in the comment. So what's the conclusion? Looks like the Platies dominates this showdown. They are smaller, they are cheaper, they are easier to find and easier to keep. But does that mean Swordtail are bad? No. Although Platy dominates this showdown, that doesn't mean Swordtails are bad. if you have a bigger aquarium and want a fish that's awesome but also cheap at the same time, Swordtail is an absolute choice for you. And here's what I put out. If you want a low-budget, colorful, small jelly bean looking fish that's beginners approved and small aquarium fit, Platy is the obvious choice as they are more suitable for that criteria. But if you still need a cheap fish for a bigger aquarium that's also fun, awesome, and elegant, then Swordtail should be in your radar. They are cheap, but as awesome as other 30-gallon fit fish. But honestly, both of them are the best in their own way. But now I'll ask you, which team are you on? Are you on Team Platy or Team Swordtail? Vote now in the comment section. So there you go. That's the epic showdown of Platy and Swordtail. Sure, the Platy dominates the whole showdown, like how Max Verstappen dominates the whole 2023 F1 season. But that doesn't say Swordtails are bad. Swordtails are pretty awesome too. And actually, I like the Swordtail more because of that one Swordtail variant that looks like koi. Sure, Platys are all-rounder in this video, but Swordtails are still pretty cool too. And if you want to, I can make a video why Swordtails are awesome. So if you want to see that video, subscribe now, so you don't miss that video. So that's a wrap for this video, and are you on Team Platy or Swordtail? Let me know in the comment section below, and give this video a thumbs up if you like this video, and share this video to your friends that's still confused to choose between Platy and Swordtail. Subscribe this channel if you want to see more fun fish content, as there will be more in the future. Thanks for watching my aquatic friends, and have a wonderful aquatic life. See you next time.